As you all know, PACS has become established as the backbone of medical imaging, whether it's used for radiology, for radiation oncology, or in a number of other specialties such as cardiology, neurology, nuclear medicine, pathology, surgery, and more. Because Imaging Technology News magazine and Outpatient Care Technology, our sister magazine, recognize the significance of PACS in and beyond radiology, we cover healthcare IT extensively in our magazines and in other interactive formats, such as on our website, in live radio broadcasts, podcasts, webcasts, and also here today at this EHR panel, which we've entitled, How EHR Will Increase Your Revenue in a PACS Environment. The healthcare industry is poised to take a revolutionary step forward with the ongoing development of a national healthcare record, or EHR. And PACS is at the foundation of that architecture. We are here today to discuss what an image-enabled EHR will offer healthcare organizations and the patients they serve. To that end, we have invited a group of visionaries in the medical field to discuss the critical issues relevant to an EHR in a PACS environment. This includes leveraging existing infrastructures, real initial investments, return on investment, the true attributes of the system, and its effect on patient outcomes. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the moderator of our EHR panel. He is the Professor and Vice Chairman, Radiology Informatics, Medical Director, Pathology Informatics at the University of Chicago Pritzker School of Medicine, and Medical Director, Enterprise Imaging at University of Chicago Hospitals. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Paul Chang.
Thank you, Kristen. Good afternoon, everyone. I like intimate groups because we can actually be impolitic and actually get some work done here. This has been a especially important topic for my day job when I was at Pittsburgh and also in Chicago recently. As Kristen mentions, I'm not only responsible for radiology but also pathology and cardiology and all the various other entities that create multimedia objects for the electronic health record. And I did a similar thing in Pittsburgh. And one of the things you recognize very early on when you're responsible for that is that images alone are not consumed in a vacuum. That in order for them to truly result in measurable improvements either in patient outcome, safety, or efficiency, images are consumed, interpreted within a proper context. And that proper context is the complete patient state. And that patient state now is most efficiently, at least most of us believe, presented through what many people call the electronic health record. Now, that being said, I'm not quite sure I know what an electronic health record is. And the reason for that is when I listen to the vendors, they tell me, well, whatever they sell is an EHR. When I give lectures to informaticians or computer scientists or people who are interested in workflow, what they want with respect to the electronic health record is quite a bit different. There is no question, though, in our mind that we need to do something because the system is broken, and we all know that. We spend over 16% of the gross national product in healthcare, and yet we're really not providing, with respect to outcomes, optimal patient care. And we believe that having electronic-based information ubiquitously available as a framework for shared patient context, for collaboration, for improved decision support, can't hurt and potentially may help with respect to productivity, efficiency, outcomes, and patient safety. The purpose of this panel discussion, many of us in the audience, many of us on this panel come from this problem from the imaging side. Now, as many of you have known, if you've heard my talks before, I think the only reasons why we're talking about PACS at all is an accident of timing. That it just reflects the lack of maturity of our discipline. That PACS is simply, and has always been, and should be the multimedia component of the EHR. Problem is we're not there yet. We have the bits and pieces. We've clearly moved from early adopter to early majority phase with respect to image management. Many of us are probably not that far along the path with respect to electronic health record. Many of us have taken beginning steps with respect to results review. Fewer of us have actually embraced computerized physician order entry, CPOE. Very few of us have actually tried to leverage this infrastructure for true collaborative work. And we'll get into that later on as the discussion goes on. But clearly those of us who start in the image side, the PACS side, believe that we have a role to play in the multimedia electronic health record. And we're going to try to explore those with this panel discussion. We're going to start off with a few short presentations by our panel members, but hopefully they'll keep their comments short, because what I'd really like to do is actually challenge them with some questions. Because I'm going to tell you something. As someone responsible for the electronic health record at my institutions, as someone responsible for providing a solution that actually is measurably important or positive with respect to either outcomes, ROI, or patient safety, I'm a pretty pissed customer. I'm not happy with the vendor offerings. And that's saying a lot, because I kind of invented a PACS company, and even I am not that very happy with their offering as well. It's not so much the functionality that they're selling, it is the lack of interoperability. And I'm going to try to understand that as a customer, and I'm going to take advantage of the fact that we have these speakers, and I want to try to explore with them why it is that we are not where we want to be. I have yet to meet a really happy consumer of an electronic health record. And I also want to understand why it is that why is this problem so difficult when we look at analogous problems outside of medicine that are in many ways, from an informatics and computer science perspective, more difficult, and yet they are seemingly able to make progress. In other words, why is it that my kid can order something from Netflix or Amazon.com, which requires the interoperability of many systems, and it all works, when I can't even get my images and my electronic health record to work together? Is it something that's inherently more difficult about our domain? Or are we just simply not willing to embrace other approaches that might be more valuable than the legacy approaches that we use in medicine today? We are very fortunate to have a number of speakers present today. I will introduce them, and they will be giving, as I said, short little presentations to kind of whet your appetite for the panel discussion that will follow. Mr. David Holland is the Vice President of Product Development for Imagion. We have Dr. Gary Wendt, who is Enterprise Director of Medical Imaging and Vice Chair of Informatics at Wisconsin. We have Dr. David Weiss, who is Clinical Head of Imaging Informatics at Geisinger Medical Center in Pennsylvania. And Dr. Peter Bach, who is Director of Architecture for Diagnostic Imaging and consultant to a very ambitious project within Canada called the Canada Health Infoway, and hopefully Peter will talk about that.